Alright, so welcome back to my channel again. It's been a long time. 26th of May was the last time I uploaded a video, and I'd made it slightly before that. It's a case of, I apologise, I'm out with Chelsea again and she's pulling again. So we're stood in the shade because it's 25 degrees in the sun. Obviously I've got a dog, so you can't walk a dog in the sun. Just doing an early morning walk before the main heat of the day arrives. So I just stood under these trees for a bit of shade. Just go around, see a few of them. And I'm thinking, how old are these trees? For a tree that size there, how long does that take to grow? We're talking about, you might have a tree expert out there, but obviously I'm not going to cut it down and count the rings. But, you know, what we're talking about, 50 years, 100 years, 150, maybe 200. That's some growth there, isn't it, from a sapling? So yeah, it's with a video, and it's what they say is it's if you haven't ridden the horse for a while, it's tough getting back in the saddle again. I recently saw a YouTube video from a guy that said he wanted to get into the rhythm of producing good videos, so his plan was to create one video a day, and he said it was quite challenging actually. I don't think he uploaded one a day, but he created one a day, walked and talked amongst the open spaces and amongst towards the end of the 30 videos through crowds, which he found quite challenging. So if we recap as to what I do in my life, I work as a printing press operator, working 12-hour shifts. I do 6 shifts in a row, 6 12s in a row, and then I have a 7-day break. I also run a small business, and I also volunteer now and again on the Wilts and Berks Canal on a narrowboat. So I'm out today with my man bag to hold the camera and my phone. Got a dog with me, currently wrapped around a tree, leads wrapped around a tree. So going back to the 3rd week of July, just prior to that, my workplace said they were getting CCTV cameras installed. A customer had specified that we couldn't have the contract unless they had tighter security, because we were printing something that was of a sensitive nature, and they didn't want the release to get out early. It was for a gaming product. So stipulation was we had to have cameras installed, and we were all dreading that. Obviously you don't want a camera pointed at you all day long, even though I do this, I'm doing this on a camera now and making it public. That's my own choice. My choice is not to have a camera pointed at me for the whole 12 hours. So yeah, there was some anxiety about that. Again, I'm just almost touching 60. I thought, well, time to get out then, isn't it? So I knew it was up and coming, and a day before, a guy from work texted me and said, the cameras are up, and here's an image of what they will see, and it was pointing straight at where I would be working, right at me, 10 feet away. So I went in on the Thursday, that was about the 20th or 21st of May, start my 6 12-hour shifts, and I went up to the guy who I was taking over from, and I said, so how are you getting on with the camera? And he pointed the camera to me, I pointed out the camera, and yeah, it's right in your face. And he said, I'm not worrying about that. He said, I'll be gone in a week. And then he pointed to a notice, an email printed out, put on the side of the press. And I read it, and it said, due to, I mean, this will be familiar to quite a few people. It said, due to the current economic circumstances and the rise in the employer's national insurance contribution, and we have tried to avoid this by knocking certain projects on the head and cutting costs as much as possible. So unfortunately we need to reduce the numbers in the workforce. This will be from all departments, and we will notify you by next Tuesday, so that would be in a week's time, not quite a week's time. So, I thought, wow, I didn't see that come in. I don't think anybody saw it come in. Even the manager, the boss, didn't see it come in. So, you know what happens then? Everybody starts talking. That's the only subject of conversation. People stop work and they're talking about that. They're speculating who's going to go. They're speculating what's going to happen next, etc., etc. And it completely disrupts the flow of work. Everything stops. So I've got a contract of like 38 years. That's 2P'd across several companies, etc. So I immediately thought, I'm almost 60. I've got some pension backup. I'm helping to run a small business. I thought, yes, this is an opportunity. And as soon as I thought my wife would be up, I said, can you quickly calculate how much I might get on redundancy? She worked it out. There is a cap. You can be there 100 years, but you wouldn't get 100 years worth of redundancy compensation. It's capped at 20 years. In the latter years, you get a week and a half for redundancy. It varies amongst different people, length of service. I'll need to give 12 weeks notice, or they might pay 12 weeks notice pay. So yeah, she'll give me a figure. Here's a healthy figure. And I thought as soon as HR come into the office, I'll go up there. So I went up there and I said, can I discuss the possibility of voluntary redundancy? I said, or going part-time. I said that might even suit you, because if the work picks up a little bit, I can step it up and then I can step it down. And you've got less overheads on a part-time worker. So I said, I've got more options than the people I work with, because they're still have families, mortgages, etc. I've got a very, very tiny mortgage, but so she said, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. I'll speak to people about that. However, an hour later, the boss starts taking people upstairs. And he thought, yeah, I know what that's about. So various people were taken upstairs. We didn't know who the people would be. And then it was all over. They'd decided who it was, and they'd said that I was too expensive. And the way they would be working this would be making 14 people redundant and doing it with a minimal cost. So literally, the people who went had just a week or so of redundancy payment. They were last in, first out. Some really good skills were lost, etc. So yeah, that was it. Back to work. But of course, it sends a load of ripples through an organisation, and those ripples continue for weeks and weeks and weeks. People keep stopping and talking about what do you think will happen next, etc. I'll leave that story there because the story goes on. So yeah, I'm still working. I finished my 6 12-hour shifts Wednesday. Lovely weather, but almost too hot to do things sometimes. So I'll leave it at that. Just to recap, my name's Glenn. Thank you for watching this, and I will catch you next time with another video, and hopefully more frequently. I'll leave it at that. See you again.